The information discussed in this PILCast episode are merely opinions and do not constitute formal policy or legal guidance of any kind.
Oh, hello. Welcome to another PILCast, the video blog where we talk about important federal procurement innovations in 10 minutes or less. I guarantee it. I'm Scott Simpson with the DHS Procurement Innovation Lab, and today I am in beautiful, sunny Watertown, New York for another PILCast travel edition. Now, it's beautiful and sunny right now, but pretty soon that sky is going to darken because, as you may have guessed from my sunglasses here, not these ones, the ones I had on earlier, I'm here on the path of totality for the 2024 solar eclipse. In just about a half hour here, the moon is going to fully pass in front of and in between the Earth and the sun, completely blocking out the sun's rays. It is supposed to be just an awesome experience. And you know, there's supposed to be some really unusual effects that occur with it. You know, sometimes birds, they think that it's nighttime and they start to go to sleep. Everything gets quiet. All the animals kind of react. You might also feel the temperature drop, yeah, because the sun's light isn't getting towards you, so it actually gets a little bit cooler. But you don't know any of these things unless you actually experience it. And so that's what I'm doing here, way up in Watertown, New York. I'm trying to experience that solar eclipse. And this is sort of how we buy things too, right? There are things out there that you just never know how they're going to be used by the end user until you test them out, right? Think about that in your personal life. If you ever went to test drive a car before you bought it, I'm sure a lot of you have, right? Bicycle, sure. You know, there's lots of things out there that we like to test before we buy. And so we've got this great innovation for that called product demonstrations. And a product demonstration is where, as part of the solicitation, as part of that trade-off before award, you try out a product. Now, we had a team at the U.S. Coast Guard who did this really well. They had a requirement for dry suits. Now, a dry suit, if you're not familiar, is sort of like a wetsuit. It's worn by a Coast Guard rescue swimmer when they jump into the water to, you know, rescue somebody. Now, unlike a wetsuit you've got to get wet to keep your body insulated and warm. But a dry suit, you actually want to stay dry. So you don't want any water inside there. So it's got a lot of different moving parts. You know, you've got like the actual dry suit. You might have some gloves, some boots, a hat. You might even have like a neck piece here as well, depending on what type of dry suit. And as you can guess, all of those pieces need to fit together seamlessly to keep that water out and the rescue swimmer warm. Because if you have even a little bit of a seam there and water starts to get in, that rescue swimmer starts to get really cold in the frigid water, right? Hypothermia can start to set in, and they are not as functional as they would be, and it's harder to rescue that person who needs their assistance. So really important that these dry suits work well. Now, what's the best way to know whether these dry suits work well or not? Well, you can read in proposals, right? Oh, we tested it, it's 99% effective, or you know, it's been through all these other tests. There's really only one way to know, and that is to put it on yourself, go jump into some cold water. So that's what the Coast Guard did. As part of the solicitation, they stated that vendors who were participating had to submit a couple of samples. So they had to submit several dry suits, which the Coast Guard swimmers went, they put on, then they dropped into that cold water. They see how well they work. This was really valuable for them as they made their trade-off. Coast Guard was super happy with the process and with the end result. I mean, think of these things. I'm not going to go down the hill on these things without having to try that beforehand. That looks pretty dangerous, but maybe fun too. We'll see. All right, so the next time you're buying something for an end user, think about that. Think about, can you get the end user involved to try it out, right? What do you buy that an end user is going to use? What kind of products? Computers? Sure. Software? Definitely, right? What other kind of things? Office equipment. You might be buying equipment for the field offices where you work. If you're supporting law enforcement, there's lots of gear there. If you're supporting any kind of somebody in the field, they've got gear. I know they do. Whether it's hats and belts, whether it's sensors and equipment, whatever it is, they've got it. Get them involved. Try it out before you buy it. Next time, try the product demonstration. Also, I'm going to do now, the sun's about to put on a demonstration, and I'm not going to miss it, because then I've got to wait 20 years until the next one comes around. Huh. That sort of sounds like our contracts too, eh? So if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below for whether you've used product demonstrations or if you've seen a solar eclipse and what you thought of it. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.